welcome to Gospel Music USA. My name's Danny Jones. I'm with Singing News Magazine.
I'm Karen Peck Gooch with Karen Peck in the River. Mike LeFevre is not standing here with us, but he is going to be on the show today.
That's right, because Mike has brought the LeFevre Quartet to town. They are singing songs that you can find on their latest recording. They'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a few moments. But folks, if you like gospel music quartet style, this next half hour is just for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the LeFevre Quartet.
We all hurt, we all cry, we all know pain, but sometimes none of us know why. We have regret, we all have scars, but I know the one who heals a broken heart. Run to Jesus, He's running to you. He's always been, He'll always be faithful and true. You can trust Him and what He can do, and He'll come through for you. There is fear, fear. There is doubt, doubt. That's what a dark and broken world is all about. But Jesus knows right where you are, and there is mercy in the Savior's open arms. Run to Jesus, He's running to you. He's always been, He'll always be faithful and true. You can trust Him and what He can do, and He'll come through for you. Mountains always move, and storms never last. So lift your eyes and know that this has only come to pass. Run to Jesus, He's running to you. He's always been, always be faithful and true. You can trust Him and what He can do, and He'll come through for you, and He'll come through for you. Yes, I know the one who heals a broken heart. He'll come through for you. Well, they'd been fishing through the night, didn't even catch a thing. But then the Lord said, Simon, you better launch into the deep. When the man obeyed, there were so many fish, the nets they started to break. There's a lesson to be learned. When you take God at His word, you're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a stronger net. 'Cause if you put your faith in Jesus and you do just what He said, then right before your very eyes, when you see the blessings overflow, oh, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Ain't it something how the Lord will give us more than what we need? That he could go beyond what we could even ask or think. So if you dare to sail away, to drop your nets into the deep, deep waters of faith, he will fill them up for sure. Until there's not room for more, you're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a stronger net. 'Cause if you put your faith in Jesus and you do just what he said, and right before your very eyes, when you see the blessings overflow, you're gonna need a bigger boat. He's got a miracle with your name written on it. And just like those fishermen, my friend, I promise, you're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a stronger net. 'Cause if you put your faith in Jesus and you do just what he said, then right before your very eyes, when you see the blessings overflow, you're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a bigger boat. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Bigger boat, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Bigger boat, you're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey, welcome back to Gospel Music USA. Now, this week, while you're on your computer, go find the official Facebook page of Gospel Music USA. Like that page, follow, and share the content, and we sure would appreciate it. Our guest today is the LeFevre Quartet, and with me right now is Jordan LeFevre of the LeFevre Quartet, obviously, and Will Lane. And these guys, well, they make up some of the younger membership of the quartet. Guys, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Glad to be back, Danny.
And Jordan, you've been with the LeFevre Quartet since day one almost.
That's right.
And you started on the drum kit.
I did.
And messed with the sound. You've been driving the buses, moved to the front line to sing lead. Did you ever really expect to find yourself singing lead for one of gospel music's leading quartets?
Absolutely not. You know, there's actually a funny story. As you said, I started kind of at the basement level. I was carrying equipment and then was able to move up to drums, run sound. You know, then Dad got me driving the bus when I was about 15, 16 years old. That's when you could still do that, you know. And so I've just kind of absorbed all those jobs, and I never got to leave any of those jobs either. I just collected them all now and get paid for one.
Well, there you go.
But to answer your question, I mean, honestly, when Dad first approached me, it's been almost 10 years ago now, when he approached me about singing lead, and I said, there ain't no way. I told him no. I said, you know, that's really not, that would be out of my comfort zone. And I was driving the bus. I'll never forget it. I was actually in Indiana, and I got to thinking about it, and I had the little phone there where I could call back to his bunk, and after a little bit, about 30, 40 minutes, I got to thinking about it, and I called him back, and I said, Dad, I said, I don't know that I can do it. I said, but I'll try, and we'll see how it happens. And here we are 10 years later, and I'm still trying. He ain't fired me yet.
Well, hey, that's a good sign. Where was the first place that you stepped on stage as the group's lead singer?
It was after NQC, and it was actually down in Hiram, Georgia, at a little church, and I was scared to death. I remember walking on stage, pouring sweat profusely, I'm sure, because I was just scared. I'll never forget it. That was the guys finished up that week of NQC, and then that following weekend was my first weekend. And it was just at a little church there in Hiram, Georgia.
And here you are now. And sitting next to you is one of gospel music's great young bass singers. I mean,
Absolutely.
He's not even 40 yet, and you're not even as old as he is. That's really what's disturbing about the whole matter. But Will Lane, this is not your first go-around in the world of gospel music. You've spent some time on the buses of the Anchorman, driven, even filled in a little bit with the Dixie Melody Boys when Ed O'Neill was off the road. And here you are singing with Mike LeFevre. When you were young, Did you ever see Gold City with Mike LeFevre in the lineup, or were you born after that?
I was born around that time.
Okay, there's a very safe
I
political
was a
answer.
few years old, and they were, of course, my heroes and still are. Just great men. Still carrying on the legacy. I mean, I just absolutely love gospel music, quartet music, the harmony. Honored to be able to walk on stage and share Jesus through song every night. What's so funny is, you know, growing up, my mom and dad used to take me to the Inspiration Park, McCamey's, Inspirations, and I just thought, when I saw Mike Holcomb, I was like, oh my, you know, I just wanted to be a bass singer one day. And, but my voice dropped when I was about 16. Well, I went to music school, Steve Hurst School of Music, when I was 17 in Nashville. And that's when I met Jay Perrick and all of Gold City that night. You know, it was Jonathan, Mark, Tim, and the band. And I thought I had died and went to heaven. And now 20 years later, I'm 37 years old, and me and Jay are sharing the stage every night. Truly an honor.
Does this, in some ways, does it seem like a dream?
Oh, all the way, totally. It blows me away every day, honestly.
Right.
You know, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. I mean, it's incredible.
As you were talking about the days of your parents taking you to events, was there one group during that time that really just absolutely caught your attention more than another?
I would say probably at that time, Gold City, no doubt. I mean, just their selection of songs, their sound, it just very unique, totally different than anybody else. And
So if you were not singing gospel music, what would Will Lane be doing?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like God has gave me a gift. I feel like that He has called me to do this and gave me the opportunity. I guess I'd have to be put in that situation to figure it out, you know, but hopefully this will always be an opportunity for me.
Jordan, I'm going to give you the same question. If you were not doing this, what would you be doing?
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting that you brought that up. You know, throughout since March, I mean, we've worked very few dates, and I had always thought how fun it would be if I wasn't singing to be a fireman. So the opportunity actually came about while we've had this time off, where I've been able to go and do just that. And it's kind of work when I want to or can, based around the group schedule. But I've been going through and getting all my certifications and doing all that, and I've actually been working at that real hard while we've had this time down. And
so is that something you would consider going to as a full-time career?
Absolutely. Okay. If God ever said, hey, you know, it's time to go home, that's probably what I would do. And I love to serve in that capacity, and I have enjoyed doing that.
Well, I know everybody appreciates your service to that, and we all appreciate both of your service to gospel music. Now, Jordan, where can we find the LeFevre Quartet in the internet world?
Well, our website is thelefevrequartet.com, and then, of course, we've got our Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I wish I could tell you what it is, but I have no idea.
It's out there somewhere. So just Google LeFevre Quartet. You'll find all that information. And Will, before we go to the break, I'm going to ask you one question. Yes. If you could say anything to a young person wanting to sing gospel music right now as a word of advice, what would you tell them?
Follow your dream and keep God first.
There you go. Great advice. All right, folks, we're coming back to more of the LeFevre Quartet right here on Gospel Music USA. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Gospel Music USA. We have the LeFevre Quartet with us. Also, these guys are so much fun. Listen, this next song is so good. I want you to listen as the LeFevre Quartet sings for you, Dry Bones.
In every life there is an occasion for what we call temptation, to worry and doubt if God is gonna work it out. All the crazy situations that make us feel forsaken, busted, and broken down. Sometimes life is tough, it'll leave you in the dust.
Are you living in the valley of dry bones? Ever get the feeling that you got no hope? Living in the valley of dry bones. Have you hit rock bottom in your soul?
Are you tired of the desert? Have a little faith. Open up your mouth and in his name
Speak
to the dry bone. Dry bone. To the dry bone. There's a great big God and there's no mistaking. Here's every prayer you're praying, so never give up, 'cause he's gonna make a way. So go ahead, go on and praise him, and trust that while you're waiting, maybe today's the day. What's dead will come alive with resurrection life.
Are you living in the valley of dry bones? Ever get the feeling that you got no hope? Living in the valley of dry bones. Have you hit rock bottom in your soul?
Are you tired of the desert? Have a little faith. Open up your mouth and in his name
Speak
to the dry bones.
Speak to the dry bones, dry bones.
Yeah, you're gonna see them.
Get up, get up.
Great God is gonna get them off of the ground.
Get up, get up.
Make them get up and start walking around.
Get up, get up.
Great God is gonna get them off of the ground.
Get up, get up.
Make them get up and start walking around.
Are you living in the valley of dry bones? Ever get the feeling that you got no hope? Living in the valley of dry bones. Have you hit rock bottom in your soul?
Are you tired of the desert? Have a little faith. Open up your mouth and in his name
Speak
to the dry
Are
bones.
you living in the valley of dry bones? Ever get the feeling that you got no hope? Living in the valley of dry bones. Have you hit rock bottom in your soul?
Are you tired of the desert? Have a little faith. Open up your mouth and in his name
Speak
to the dry bones.
dry bones, dry bones, dry bones.
Yeah, to the dry bones.
Dry bones, dry bones.
No matter where you are or where you've been, no matter what it was that made you fall again, the one who loves you most still has you in his care. So wherever fear may lead you, he will meet you there. He will leave the 99. He won't rest until he finds that wayward son, that wandering one that the world will leave behind. There's no distance he won't go. Save. That one is called a stray. He will leave the 99. All the things you now regret, he will forgive, he will forget. Your faith will be restored. You will be better than before.
astray, he will leave the 99. There's no distance he won't go. No hiding place he does not know. He'll do anything to save that one who's gone astray. He will leave the 99.
Mike, you had mentioned before that that was one of the best songs you've heard in a long time.
Bar none, probably one of the most anointed songs we've ever had, because everybody that has a walk with the Lord has found themselves in a place before where they feel like they're alone, and they've walked away, and they're wondering, would he love me? Would Jesus take me back? And that song says it so well.
So true. He will leave the 90. He will leave the 99.
Right.
For that one.
Absolutely.
That is great. You did a great job, Jordan.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, this is on your. You're so fun. Hey, this is also on your latest CD. Is that
Yes.
Is that right?
It's called Hope. The title of the CD is Hope. But one thing, when we titled that CD, we noticed that most of the songs, all but maybe a couple, had a common thread, and that was they all had that common thread of hope in them. And so we didn't expect it at the time when we named the CD that it would be very appropriate for the time that we're in.
Yes, exactly. And for those that are watching at home, please know that there is hope in Jesus.
Amen.
You are never without hope, that's for sure.
That's right.
Also, Brian over on the piano has a solo CD that's out as well, so they can get that. What is your website, Mike?
Well, it's on the LeFevre
That's great.
Quartet.com, but Brian has his own website, which is
Brian Elliott Music.
There you go. Thank you all so much for joining us today on Gospel Music USA. We'll see you again next week. And we have another song from our friends, the LeFevre Quartet.
Like a babe when it cries for its mother, like a child I was helpless and alone. Then I met the Master. Now yes, I am one of His very own. For all things were changed when He found me, and a new day broke through all around me. For I met the Master. Now I belong. Jesus, he's now my master. Now I walk no more in the night. For all things were changed when he found